Hello, my friends. Welcome to another 8 Ends as we bring you the latest coverage from the 2024 MoPac Women's Arena Playdowns. Ross and Play, we are underway here in the first end of the contest between Team Asis of Silicon Valley and Team Feldman of Wine Country. As we see Julie Wolf deliver her rock. Looking to peel that middle center guard. We have 2 games in action this draw. This is our feature game, Asis versus Feldman. And the B game, or sheet B game, is Team Malia taking on Team Tucker. And those are 2 Wine Country teams. So it looks like Asis is sitting 1 in the 8 foots, just barely out counting 2 Feldman Reds. And this could be trouble. Not too bad. So Feldman's able to get rid of the Asis stone, but at the cost of 1 of their own. So yeah, 6 teams in this event. We were able to do a full round robin. And every team plays each other in a 5-game order. This is Julie's second. Oh no, sorry, this is Melissa. And this is looking for hits as we are at third stones right now. That hit is made, and the shooter rolls wide open on the right side. As we see Leanne Shearing get set in the hack. Glad you guys were able to tune in for this contest. It is an absolutely beautiful day here at Lake Tahoe Epic Curling in picturesque State Line, Nevada. So the teams are trading hits back and forth. It's now Feldman setting shots, all alone in the house. As Melissa gets set for her last. We're also updating scores and games at bondspieler.com. And when I say we, I mean me. So there might be times where I'm away updating that website for live scores, but that really is a good resource to check out scores and standings. We have 2 undefeated teams. Feldman is one of them. As Leanne delivers her next shot. Looking at the standings, this is a battle between 2 undefeated teams, actually. I wanted to confirm to make sure that both Asis and Feldman are undefeated at 3 games apiece. Currently in the standings, we have Barbary and Ewers tied at 2 wins, 2 losses, and then we have Malia and Tucker just behind. So looking at the house, Feldman has a stone in the top of the house. There are 21 different scenarios for the playoffs, and I will go through them each individually throughout the course of this broadcast. Actually, I don't think I'll be doing that. As Jennifer Asis makes her way down the ice. I think some of the scenarios are falling by the wayside. We'll have a better picture as our evening continues. We have 2 more draws today to conclude round robin play. Our next games are at 4:25. The only single game draw on the schedule between Ewers and Barbary, and then we have a 7:55 finale. Looking for a hit. It looks like these teams have their hit weight dialed in. Contact made. The shooter rolls to the side as the hit redstone goes through the house out of play. So Feldman has a hammer. There's only 1 rock in the ring. So I think Feldman might be trying to set up for a blank here. I think they might try to hit and roll under that center guard to try and generate 2, but if it doesn't work out, go for the blank. Both these teams have lots of experience. This is a contest between some of the top rinks in our region. And we shall see what the outcome is. As Katie Feldman delivers her first. Looking for a draw, I believe. Sweepers are on it. Looks like the hit's going to be made. Where is the shooter going to end up? The shooter rolls just a little toward the center. And it is exposed. And so now Asis is going to take it on. And I think the blank is very much on, especially between these 2 skilled squads. Last rock for Team Aces here in the first. Looks pretty good. Let's see what sort of roll there might be. Rolls toward the right. Shot rock for now. Looking for a blank. Plan B is to hit and stick, I would imagine. So then you kind of need to see which side to hit on. Looks like they're choosing I think they're choosing to curl across the face, maybe hit it on right of center from this view. Last shot here, Katie Feldman with the hammer, first end. Looking for a hit and roll out. Looks like they're going to hit it on the outside, which is possible. It needs to roll out. Not going to get there. It is a force of 1. Feldman takes the points. Asis takes the hammer as we head into the second end. When we return to our coverage of the 2024 MoPac Women's Arena Playdowns, coming to you live from Lake Tahoe Epic Curling. And this event is brought to you by DoubleTakeout.com. DoubleTakeout.com is operated by Ken Pomeroy, a numbers wizard who has applied his expertise in crunching the numbers, analytics, to rank the top curling teams from around the world. Throughout the curling season, he updates the site with statistics, standings, and insights. That's all at doubletakeout.com. So about to get set in the set for the second end here. I tried to adjust the camera so we can see the hog line from this view, and sort of worked and it sort of didn't. It's a work in progress. Speaking of, I'm going to update our work in progress of Bonspieler. I'll be back momentarily. Okay, Bonspieler's updated. As we have Julie Wolf throwing her stone. It's a pretty similar situation to the first, minus the high guard. Or the guard. It wasn't that high. So Wolf gets the red out, taps the blue that was there, but doesn't dislodge it that much, and the shooter rolls to the wing. So there's a possible double there. I think Feldman is going to take it on. calling for controlled downweight from Melissa McGuire. Gets one, gets two. Warm room likes it. Let's check out the replay. Gets one, gets two. Warm room. Back to the live action as we see the last shot from Julie make its way down the ice. Looking for hits. Hits made. The shooter's going to roll toward the left and remain in play. So another blank could be in the offing here. As Leanne gets set in the hack. I think looking for a draw on top of the blue. This is shaping up pretty nicely. It goes a little deeper, and it could have curled maybe just a little bit more than they would have liked, but it is a shot. It is open though, and so Asis can probably pick it out. That loud thumping is the night watchman coming to haunt kids' dreams. As we see the next stone, the first stone coming from third Melissa Wheeler. Team Asis is a 5-member squad. The players do rotate. This is going to be maybe a little tight, and it just misses everything, unfortunately. So now I think the blank is off, and Feldman's looking to score multiple points. Asking Leanne to throw basically the same shot she just threw with a little less weight. Looking for top 4 foot based on where Feldman has the broom. This might be over curling a smidge, a little heavy a smidge. Sweepers did not lay a broom on it, and I think they're looking to maybe go for a plan B, maybe put a corner freeze on top of that red, and that does appear to be the case. So it's Feldman sitting 2, Asis sitting one right behind. You can also see there's clocks in the background of this shot. Each team has 30 minutes of what's called thinking time. The clock starts as soon as their turn begins. When the other team's turn ends, essentially, the rock stops. And then the clock stops as soon as the person throwing the stone crosses the tee line on the delivery end. And so they have 30 minutes to play 8 ends. And time has not been an issue too much in this game. And so it looks like Asis is going to put that blue stone right on top of the red. Actually kicks the red out. So I think what they're looking to maybe do is hit the blue on the right side, the right blue on the right side, and kind of roll to the right so Asis can't get both of those reds out. I would say there's a double there. But there's not really any strong reason to take on that double, especially since that blue in the back is providing backing for that red. So Leanne holds the broom as Feldman takes her jacket off, which could be a thing. She did know that she was cold a little earlier, so it's understandable to wear the jacket. And this is Katie Feldman's first without the hammer here in the second end. Looking for a little tap action. This might over curl. So called off, and let's see where this red will end up. Ends up in the pile, now shot rock. So Asis is probably just going to put it right on top. Sit shot stone. Asis has the hammer this end. And while they set up the shot, just to let you guys know that on sheet B, Team Malia opened up the scoring with a 3 spot against Team Tucker in that wine country Wrangler. So decisions made. Jennifer makes her way down the ice. So with those clocks, it reminds me that there are 8 ends of regulation. Teams can choose to resign early if the game feels out of hand. And each team also gets a single timeout during the game. They have a slightly extended time because some teams have coaches. They might have judges, but it's not relevant. They have coaches, and so there's additional time to allow the coaches to meet their team on the ice. So Asis delivers, looking for that draw on top. This looks pretty close. Needs to sit the corner. It's going to go a little narrower than they thought. It's not deeper though. So Feldman could put one on top. There's a risk of rolling open, and then Asis can get that out. She can also do a takeout, hit the outside of that blue, kick that blue out, and then Asis would be forced to pretty much draw for 1. There could be a scenario for 2. So the broom's down. I think they're looking for that takeout. Just some relatively gentle weights. Last shot here in the second end for Team Feldman without the hammer. Looking for, I think, like back line weight, perhaps. Sweepers are just walking with it. Sorry. Let's give you that view. Super close, but it's going to wick off that blue. So it does create the scenario where I think Asis could just hit that red for 2. But I think the easier shot is just to draw another one into the pile, because the shot blue is not going anywhere. And they would be able to just get their 2 that way. So Jennifer gets sets, and the delivery here, hammer shots, Team Asis, second end. think they're charging to the pile, especially as we see it hooked now as it goes down the ice. And it is there, right on top of those blues, 4-2. So Asis takes the lead, converts the hammer for a total of 2-1 over Team Feldman. We're going to take a brief break for hydration. We'll be right back when we return to the 2024 MoPac Women's Arena Playdowns, coming to you live from Lake Tahoe Epic Curling. really helps if you turn the mic on. So, a really interesting ant developing here. Although that does remind me that I did a broadcast in Oakland, and I went for about a day and a half before someone told me they couldn't hear me on the broadcast. So that was fun. Also slightly humbling to talk for about 8 hours and like no one listened. That's the story of my life though. So the hit was made, the red shooter rolled wide to the right. As we see third Melissa Wheeler get set in the hack. Looks like they're going to hit and roll, hit the reds on the inside from this view, and maybe roll back towards the middle. Melissa, as I was mentioning on mute, was part of the same squad that finished as runner-up at the regional Playdowns last year, and went to nationals and won silver. So the hit's made, and the shooter sticks. Looking at the overhead, that second blue on the right is second shot. So Asis is still sitting blue. As Leanne Shearing is about to deliver. She attended a Learn to Curl in 2019 and has been hooked ever since. Representing wine country at Arena Nationals, the U.S. Women's Curling Association Nationals, MoPac 5 and Under, MoPac Seniors, and MoPac Mixed Doubles. This is a draw. It's coming up a little light though as Feldman comes out to help. Was it going to get in the house? It's going to barely touch paint. Looks like it's close to full 12. And Asis is, I think, looking to maybe make a play on it. And I think that would make sense because Feldman could tap that back later for a single point. They want to avoid the jam. As Wheeler looks at the line of attack from her hack. Room set, looking for a hit, trying to avoid the jam. This is Melissa with her second shots. Looks like it could be a little on the outside. The jam happened. And does get rid of the shot stone. The shooter rolls toward the right. But it is Ace is sitting first and third, and Feldman is sitting second shots. And it looks like they're there's some miscommunication. Or they wanted to make sure they wanted to confirm the shots. And so they wanted to take on those blues on the right side here. It's too narrow, it's going to miss it. So now Asis has the opportunity to put a second stone in the house to sit two. So looking for a draw as Jennifer is getting positioned in the hack. Jennifer has been skipping for 9.5 years, or playing for 9.5 years. Was part of that squad that went to Arena Nationals last year. MoPac was able to send 3 teams to that USA curling event. 3 teams for women, I think 2 teams for men. And this is a draw. I think hoping to get buried. This is going to be close. I think it's going to be a little open. I think it's going to be a piece for Feldman to attack. As Asis exchanges fist bumps. So, looking at this over-the-shoulder view, Feldman's looking at hitting and rolling into that pile, creating a situation where multiple points could come into play. I think it's just looking at the right angle of attack. There's a lot of math involved in curling. No one told me that when I signed up. There's a lot of math. There's angles, there's time, there's different timing altogether. There's like split times between hog to hog, back line to hog. Different ones work for different positions in the squad. It's a great sport. I love it though, even with the math. The broom's down as Feldman makes her way back to the hack. Leanne has the broom down, looking for that hit and roll into the pile. I imagine she's going to be throwing a decent amount of weight at this. Based on where the broom, though, it looks to be like control or heavy board, perhaps, as Feldman shots away. This looks to be, based on the turn, looks like she's actually attacking the pile. So gets one. The shooter's going to roll under cover. That's a great shot there from Katie Feldman. Let's watch the replay. Looks like she's actually attacking the pile. So gets one. The shooter's going to roll under cover. That's a great shot there from Katie Feldman. So now Feldman's sitting shot with the hammer. Depending on how Asis's next shot goes, there's a chance for 2, maybe 3 points. But I think obviously Asis wants to put the rock in a position where Feldman can't get more than 1. There's a possibility of throwing a heavy draw and tapping that blue on top of the red. But Jennifer shots away. This is her last here in the third without hammer. And this is going to be just a draw. Going to get around. Looks like they're going to get to the button before Feldman can. And super close. It just goes a little too far by about 3 inches. So Feldman is still sitting shots. And Asis provided some backing for Feldman to draw on top of. So as long as Feldman picks the red line and has pretty decent weight, they get 2 here. But that did take away the chance for 3. this is a hammer coming from Katie Feldman here in the third. Needs to make sure it gets around that blue up in the top 8 foot. Then needs to get over. The weight looks a little up, so it needs to curl, and it's not going to get there. So it's just going to be a single. So Feldman does tie things up, but is forced again. And Asis will take the hammer into the fourth end, or seize the hammer. So we're going to update Bonspieler, and we'll be right back when we return to the 2024 MoPac Women's Arena Playdowns, brought to you by DoubleTakeout.com. As sheet A is about to get underway here in the fourth end. Wanted to update you on sheet B as I update Bonspieler. Tucker was down 3-0 after the first end, but they responded with a double or a deuce in the second end, and they stole the third. So they are all square on sheet B. And again, we are updating Bonspieler.com as soon as I know what's happening on the ice. As soon as I know, you know. At the start of the fourth end, opening rock coming from Putnam. And I think I was on mute when I talked about her biography. When she isn't curling, she is saving lives and curing cancer or spending time with her 2 small humans. That rock slips into the house, and Asis wants lead Jacqueline Pitlars to take it on. And Jacqueline is part of the Silicon Valley squad that was second at Arena Playdowns last year, went to Arena Nationals and won silver. That hit's made. The shooter is going to stick around on the left side there. So Feldman playing a conventional defense without the hammer is putting up a center guard. I say conventional in that there's kind of a conventional wisdom that if you don't have the hammer, you want to put a lot of rocks in the middle to make it really hard for the other team to score multiple points or score at all, depending on how the end goes. And then for the team with the hammer, you want to maybe draw play to the sides, so you leave the middle open so you can draw for multiple points with your last shot. So the center guard is made, but it is not on the center line. So the no-tick rule is in effect for this event. And if you don't know what the no-tick rule is, ask a curling friend. I've explained it a couple times. I'll probably do it again in a bit. Like right now. The no-tick rule is an expansion of the 5-rock free guard zone rule. A rock on the center line cannot be dislodged by an opponent for the first rocks at the end. If the rock is moved off the center line, it is replaced, and the offending rock is removed. So you can take that information on the bank and impress a banker. Jacqueline's second rock is coming down here. This looks like it's going sideways. Unless they kicked it. I heard maybe there was a pick on sheet B in the last draw. But on our broadcast, the ice has been pretty clean. So Feldman is asking second Melissa McGuire to draw around that center guard that was just put up. Melissa started curling in 2018. She loves her geriatric dog, Apollo, and is also trying to get 25 different fruits and veggies in her diet each week. I made a V8 joke last time, but I won't do it this time. But she may have had prune juice because it just definitely clogs up the middle. That's what prunes do, right? Or do they, is it the other way around? Oh, okay, it's the other way around. So I'll try a prune joke later in this game. That's what the fans want. So Julie Wolf's shot's coming down the way. It's going to peel the guard. And the shooter's going to roll wide, out of play. And as I was explaining, I think while I was on mute, Team Asis is a 5-woman squad. It's not quite the same thing as having a fifth. The players know in advance which games they're playing in, barring any unforeseen circumstance. So this is Melissa's second rock. This is over curling. Is it going to make contact? I think it will. Gets rid of the blue and sticks the shooter. So it's a beautiful day to be outside, and so many people have chosen to be inside watching curling. Someone in the room did remind me that there is some seating outside, but there's no view of the game outside. So it looks like Julie's going to be asked to take on the red in the top of the house, maybe, or the red on the side. Looks to be the red on the side as the stone is coming down the ice. I think they're hoping for a little bit of a roll back towards the middle. There is going to be a roll, but it's going to be through the middle, out of the house, and just kind of camping out in the backyard. So this, we have a house. We should call the guard zone the front yard, and we call the area, behind the house the backyard. So we got a backyard blue.
Don't ever put your rocks in your backyard.
People don't like the rocks in the backyard, and I agree. It's a tripping hazard for the people who are calling the game. So looking for a draw around the center. This looks a little hot from Leanne Shearing. But it slowed down. It dug in pretty nicely. But it didn't curl enough. It's covered by like a sliver of the guard. And so it looks like Asis is going to maybe try the double here. Attack the top red and then hopefully get both of those reds moving out of play. As we see Melissa Wheeler throw her first, I believe. I think actually it's her second. No, it's first. So it's curling up a bit, so they're going to get one of the reds. And the shooter's going to roll to the 12-foot in play. So Feldman doesn't have the hammer. So Feldman's looking to hit and roll on that blue. Looking to get a force as Leanne Shearing throws her stone. Leanne loves curling, golf, skating, and misrepresenting how cold it is in northern Bonspiel locations in February. So they're going to get hit, but they said no roll, and I agree. I've seen more rolls in the bakery. I wonder if they ever had like ChatGPT like broadcast a game like of curling, what they would come up with. Just I come up with some pretty random non-sequiturs. I think ChatGPT like might give me a run for my money, but maybe not. So this next rock coming from Melissa, looking to take out the shot stone, looking pretty good. And there is a roll this time. Gets clears. Oh, it cleared part of the backyard, but put another blue in the back. So now there's just one red in the house. Feldman doesn't have the hammer, so they could choose to kind of maybe. They want to draw play to the middle, and they want to put it in a place where there's not like an easy double takeout. So the broom's down. So a fun fact for the people that don't call curling games as a skip or captain, when you're doing draws or guards, you kind of use the T line as a point of reference. And this goes back to the whole math thing I was telling you about earlier in this game. So when you have the T line, you have one kind of plane of reference that's consistent from the hat. So as Katie takes her jacket off. So I guess she's cold when she skips and she takes the jacket off for unhindered delivery. So the T line provides like kind of a consistent plane, so that the angle changes consistently as you move along that T line. And then also the T line can be used as a ruler, because from like the center to the edge of the outer ring is 6 feet, and you can use the rings as kind of units of measurement. The edge of the blue is 2 feet from the center, edge of the white's 4 feet from the center, and the edge of the red again is 6 feet from the center. So they put the broom down, looking for about, I guess they're seeing about 2 feet of curl then. And I did see that. So Feldman is sitting 2 right now. As Jennifer Asis makes her way down the sheet. I think they're looking to hit at least, but I think they're maybe hoping to get some roll. As Jennifer gets set. She learned to curl in Austin, Texas. So it's going to get one of the reds, and then the shooter sticks. So it definitely looks like the force is going to be on here, as Feldman is, hopefully. She could just draw and sit 2, but it makes more sense to just get rid of the blue and definitely force the issue limit aces to 1. So we are going to take a 5-minute break at the 5th end. It's time for the traditional Lake Tahoe halftime show. And that includes people gambling, you got skiers, backpackers, People searching for agates apparently. They're doing a field show in the middle of the ice. Actually, they're doing it in the warm room, but we don't have any cameras in the warm room, so you'll be able to miss it. You'll miss it. So, but you'll just have to trust us. This is something you have to see to believe. Coming up at the fourth end break. So the broom's down for Feldman. Just looking to hit that blue out, set 2. The only potential downside is having that red roll out, and then Asis can maybe hit the red out for a blank. Excuse me. Katie's taking a breath. And is getting set. And here we go. Last rock for Katie Feldman here in the fourth without hammer. Sweepers are on it. There's other possible not great outcomes. But the shot is made. The shooter is actually going to roll. And it hangs on by its fingernails to the edge of the 12-foot ring. So Feldman is sitting 2. The force is on. And it looks like sheet B is on their fourth end break. So as soon as I get a score, I'll let you guys know what's going on there. So it looks like Tucker is having a really great game. Tucker stole another 2 points to take a 5-3 lead into the fourth end break. On our sheet, we have Jennifer Asis going for the blank, going for a single point. Once 4 foot. Are they going to get the 4 foot? The sweepers are pounding that ice. Is it going to get there? I'll switch back to it. It will get there. With some encouragement from the peanut gallery. Jennifer scores a single, is forced here. Feldman seizes the hammer and will take it into the fifth end when we come back after our break. You are tuned to the 2024 MoPac Women's Arena Playdowns, coming to you live from Lake Tahoe Epic Curling. Welcome back to our ongoing coverage of the 2024 MoPac Women's Arena Playdowns, brought to you by DoubleTakeout.com. As we see, the second stone coming from lead Amy Putnam. This is a back and forth battle between the two undefeated teams in the field. Also, the two consistently top squads in our region for Arena. And so they're currently undefeated, and they both have one more game after this. So I was talking with one of the ICE officials about what the playoff scenarios could be. Because as I mentioned, there's 21 different scenarios that could happen, 21 different permutations as Julie Wolf gets set. Basically, there is a 2-loss provision in our playdowns. And so if you have less than 2 losses, you can still be considered for the playoffs. And so at the end of the stand, there's going to be one team that's undefeated and one team with a loss. And so after this game, if both teams win their last game, one team would go undefeated and one team would go with 1 loss. And so that would set up potentially a 2-game playoff on Sunday, where if the undefeated team wins game 1, it's over. And then if the team with 1 loss wins the first game, then there would be a second game for winner take all. Now, if it happens where the undefeated team loses their last game, it brings a lot of different scenarios into play. Also, if the team with 1 loss loses their second game. So it brings a lot of other teams into the picture, a lot of different scenarios, and we'd be talking about some of those 21 different permutations that I mentioned earlier. I'll definitely keep you in the loop as things develop. Standings will be posted to Bonspieler. So it looks like Feldman was able to clear one of those reds by Leanne. Or maybe it was Asis. Sorry, this is Melissa's second shot here. So looking to kind of open things up. Asis holds a 1-point lead, 3-2 here, about halfway through the game. So Melissa does dislodge the blue. The shooter rolls out of play, and the red that was the guard sticks around as a guard. And so it appears that Asis is going to use those guards for what they were born for, to guard. And this is Melissa Wheeler's first rock here for Team Asis. Looking for a draw round. Looks like it will get around those guards, but it could be going a little deep. And it is a little heavy. It's going to go to the back of the house, and it will stick around for Shot Rock. The other game on Sheet B that we are keeping you apprised of is a contest between two wine country teams, Team Malia and Team Tucker. Malia opened up the scoring with a 3, but ever since then it's been Team Tucker scoring 5 unanswered points. They are currently leading 5-3. And again, we're keeping scores up to date on bondspieler.com. It's like Bond plus Spieler. This draw ends up on the lid, but it is exposed. So it looks like Asis is going to try a hit and roll there. Wheeler gets set. Calling for sweep. Jennifer uses hand signals for her squad. Sweepers are off of it. It's going to hit and stick. And then the previous shot stone goes through the house out of play, misses the jam in the back. So Feldman has the hammer facing 2 right now. Called sweep out of hand. This is over curling. Might, it just the one in the back. So the red shooter raised the red guard onto the blue in the back, and that former red guard rolls to the right of the 12-foot zone. So that was a pretty good plan G shot. Asis is sitting 1. I think looking to draw. I think drawing to the house would be the call, because then it would kind of challenge Feldman to get rid of them both. Light is the miss, though, I would believe. This is Jennifer's first shot without the hammer here in the 5th. Looks like it's going to be more of a guard, but it could get to the top of the house. But it won't. So I think Feldman could try to clear the guard. Maybe try to run it back into the house for a double. There's a risk of jamming on the red in the back. As you can see, the scoreboard has been a fairly low scoring affair, mostly 1s, but Asis did start scoring for their team with the 2 in the second. I think trying to run the blue back leaves options for Feldman's last. Even though it might be tricky. I don't know if it's there, but you see that red that's on the left side of the center line. I think it's possible that they could run it back. And actually they're looking at it right now. But I would maybe kind of leave that for last, because it's an option that Feldman can take, even if Asis puts the guard back up. It's a tricky situation. So looking to raise the red onto the blue. I guess the advantage of going for it now is that if you make it, then what does Jennifer Asis do? Let's see what Katie Feldman has here with her first. Looks close. Is it there? Oh, okay. It moves the blue open. Blue is still shot, so it over curled a smidge. I think if it had like 2 inches less of curl, it would have been beautiful. So that's pretty close. Asis is sitting 1 still. I think Asis will put another one in. As the last blue rock heads down the ice for the end. It is going to be in the house, potentially. If it's short, though, it does offer a window for Feldman, but it's not short. So the raise is still there. Feldman's first rock just replaced the red that was there before, essentially. There could possibly be a shot for 2. I wonder if they hit the inside of that blue that's in the white paint on the kind of like near the center and roll back. That's kind of steep though. I don't know if there's a good angle of attack, especially with that guard in front of the blue stone. So I think they're just going to go for a hit and a slight roll if needed. But a hit and stick is going to get them a single point here in the 5th end. Here we go, last rock, the hammer for Team Feldman. So throwing takeout weight needs to make some solid contact and not roll wide. It's going to roll wide. And that will be a steal of 1 for Team Asis. So kind of the wrong side of the inch, as it were. We're going to pause and be right back to the action here at Lake Tahoe Epic Curling. Rocks in play. We are underway here in the 6th end out of a possible 8 ends of regulation. As I mentioned earlier, there can be an extra end if the game is tied after 8. And also teams can choose to resign early if they feel the game is out of hand. Or they just want to go to the beach and have a beach day. Things are pretty interesting on sheet B, where Team Tucker scored 5 unanswered points until Malia answered in the 5th end with 2 points to tie things up. So they're all square at 5 on sheet B. Updating the scores at bondspieler.com. Looks like Feldman had wanted to maybe try to go around that center guard, but it ends up as another guard. They're both corner guards. And this is Jacqueline's second. I think looking to put up another corner guard. It's an interesting strategy, as I've mentioned in previous broadcasts. Even this one. If you don't have the hammer, you want to try to clog up the middle to make it harder for the team with the hammer to score or score multiple points. Amy Putnam. Called for T-weight, so hoping to get around those guards. This is pretty tight. Is it going to get around those guards? It will not. And pushes that blue rock more towards the center. The shooter rolls wide toward the left. So even though Asis wasn't trying to block the middle is now pretty blocked. Last night there were 10 or 11 guards in front of the house during one game. The warm room was going nuts just because of how many rocks were in play, especially in front of the house.
All guards.
It's like the Captain Crunch Oops All Berries. It was Oops All Guards. So that raises the guard into the house. So now we have our first rock in scoring position for the end. And it looks like Feldman is going to try that draw around again. Looks like it's definitely got a good line. Let's see where it ends up. And that will be second shot in the outer 12 foot. As we see Julie Wolf's last rock, I believe. Looking to make a play on that red that was just thrown. Looks pretty close, but it's not enough. Just breezes on by. So Feldman has the second shot while Asis is holding the shot stone right now. So it looks like Feldman is asking Melissa McGuire to draw and maybe tap that red in the house back. As Melissa gets sets. A little bit of an ad. needs to come back. I don't think it is for a tap. Maybe, is it going to be able to even stick around? I don't think it will, though. As the Asis helps to escort it from the premises. Can't even hang out in the backyard. So Asis is going to try that hit again. As Melissa Wheeler gets sets. Calling for sweep, right out of hand. This is maybe over curling. Might wreck on the guards. It does. Is going to make a difference in the house? No. The guard goes over the house, out of play. So now Feldman is looking to maybe take a play, potentially play on the blue shot stone. Feldman has the hammer this end. Looking for a multiple point score here in this end. That blue on the side is kind of covered under that corner guard. But it looks like they might be trying to draw around the cover on that right side. Looks like it's curling. Let's see if it's going to get around that guard. It will not. It crashes on the guard. And that blue stone settles in on the right side of the sheets. Unlikely to be a factor for the rest of this end. It's kind of funny, when I was teaching a learn to curl, one of the students asked about what happens to the stones when they're removed from play, and I wonder if they thought that like the stones are just gone for the rest of the game. When in reality, we kind of park the stones to the side and wait for the start of the next end. That red rock is gone. The shooter also rolls out of play. It's a 2-point game right now. It's the 6th end, so there's 2 ends remaining after this. Feldman could try to blank, carry the hammer to the 7th end, just to try for a multiple point score. They could get a single point here, and then maybe try to force Aces to 1. And still be down 2 in the 8th end. It's a very close game. I think I'd rather try to score now. So this shot is, weight was pretty good. But it is, I think, open for Aces to make an attack on. So they're members of Team Aces were cleaning the path, I think, to tackle that red on the left of this view. Looking to pluck that out and really amp up the pressure on Team Feldman. This is Jennifer's first here in the 6th. So it's past the guard, and it's going to make contact with the red. It just kisses the red, but it's enough to push that red to the outer 12 foot. the shooter rolls. The shooter rolled out. So to bring that red on the wings into scoring, you need to address the blue. And so they're looking at that right now. Maybe attacking it from the outside. So Feldman makes her way down the ice. Looking for some up weights to clear that blue. I think hopefully stick around. This is Katie Feldman's first here in the sixth. Looks like it's on the guard, so they're calling for a plan B. It's going to raise the red onto the blue. The blue is going to go on top of the red on the 12-foot. So it just kind of flips the scenario here. So Asis was scoring before with shot stone, and then now Feldman is shot. Warm room's kind of watching some of the replay on the monitor. That red rock is pretty buried. I wonder if they could maybe. They can't turn the screws on Feldman in terms of putting up a rock behind those red rocks. I mean, you can see from the over-the-shoulder view here that it is pretty well buried, especially from the position of the hatch. So looking at maybe trying to draw it from the outside. And it doesn't even be the best line of attack, although the angle, the path out of the hatch is going to be tricky. So teams are coming up to talk about it as Melissa slides up. Wheeler does have some skipping experience, if I remember correctly. And so after that very brief word from Melissa, Jennifer is heading down the ice as Jacqueline Pitt-Lars has the broom down, looking to maybe draw on the left side of the ice. I think looking to get buried under that center blue guard that was on the screen moments ago. And her shot's away here. Last rock for Asis without hammer here in the sixth. No sweep call yet. This is it going to go around that blue guard? It's going to be close. It actually crashes and will roll into the house for a second shot. So now Feldman is in position to score two with just a draw, and that path that Asis just threw is open, wide open. Just like the open road that I drove on to get to this tournament. Feldman shots away. Looking for just touching the 8-foot for that second point. Now sweepers are jumping on it. Needs to make sure it gets there. Make sure it doesn't hit the blue. It's going to hit the blue. It's going to kick the blue up. And there's no 2 points. Is it even going to be a single point? Warm room thinks they want to measure. It looks red to me, but always good to be sure. Calling for the measure. So we're going to bring on the most exciting measuring device in all of sports. The pressure dial that we use to see which rock is closer to the center of the house. So I'm curious about why they went so far out, unless they wanted to make contact with the blue. I don't think they did though. I think it was just a little hot in terms of the weight of the delivery from Feldman. So the measuring device is on the far end of the ice, I believe. So they have to go down to the far end and bring it back up. And then they have to put it on the ice to cool briefly. As you can see, Cameron Spangler head down the ice with the device. I think this is the second or third measure that I've seen in this tournament. It hasn't happened too often. So Spangler is cooling it there. And now he is going to put it in the center. There's a pin in the center of the bullseye. I guess that's why we call it the pin. And so during the measurement, only the vice skips watch or can be in the house watching the measurement. So it's like one measurement is done. Close. And now it is going to be red. So Feldman is forced to single, but does draw within one. And while they get reset, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll return in just a moment to the 2024 MoPac Women's Arena Playdowns, coming to you live from Lake Tahoe Epic Curling. And we're back. Interesting end, ending up with a single point for Team Feldman. Amy is throwing her second shot. Her first shot was at guard. On sheet B, it looks like the sixth end is over. And it looks like sorry, I'm multitasking, not doing very well. It looks like Team Malia scored a single to steal and is retaking the lead, 6-5. Malia over Tucker. That's over on sheet B. Returning to our featured game. Looks like a draw, perhaps. Maybe to put up a corner guard. Actually slipping into the house. Feldman is going to escort it from the house. Looks like it's hanging around in the backyard like a pesky neighbor like Wilson from Home Improvement. Wilson wasn't pesky though. Melissa McGuire's delivery looks to go around those guards. Needs to sit down, and it will in the back eights. And so it looks like Asis wants Julie Wolf to take on the guards to peel. Looking to throw up weight, close to a peel. And it will miss. It actually kisses the guard, rolls wide to the right, and actually jams on the blue that was in the house. So Melissa's next rock is away. And I think looking to maybe draw around again. And this is going to be close. It needs to stay high. And it's going to go deep again. It's going to go through the house. And actually we'll sit down, creating a bit of a pocket for Asis to make a play on. So Asis is asking Julie to try the peel again. Calling for sweep. And that peel is accomplished. That guard goes out of play. The shooter rolls to the right and is a bit of a corner guard. And Leanne Shearing is already pushing out of the hat. They're playing pretty quick right now. Both teams have an okay amount of time. They want to have about 3.5 to 4 minutes to play their last end. Looking for a guard to block the shot stones. He needs to curl up just a little bit more. It's pretty good. However, the left side is a little open, perhaps. That's not a big port to try and draw through. So as I mentioned, over the course of this tournament, this is the women's event. and we're definitely thankful for Lake Tahoe Epic Curling for hosting us. Because this is a two-sheet venue, looks like Asis is going to try and peel that guard that was just placed. Because of the size of the venue, we've broken up the men's and women's events. The women's event is this weekend, obviously, and the men's event will be happening about a month from now, starting the weekend of August 23rd. Check your local listings for more information. So it looks like the peel is there. Mission accomplished. The shooter rolls out of play as well. And so Feldman wastes no time putting the broom down to get the guard back up. You can see from this shot that Feldman has about 5.5 minutes to play an end and 2 rocks. Both teams still also have their timeout, so they're being efficient with time, I think, just to make sure it's not a factor in the 8th end, which may be a crucial end in terms of the outcome of this actual tournament. So this slips into the house, is not shot, but I think does create either something for Asis to play on for like a run back, or draw around, but the run back is the call for Wheeler's second throw. Looks like a nice smooth release there from Melissa Wheeler. Sweepers are on. Let's see where it ends up. Looks like it's going to clear that red. It might jam on, it does not jam on the blue in the back. The blue sticks around the blue shooters hanging out in the back, having a little bit of a picnic. But it is third shots. Broom's down. I think Feldman wants to put the guard back up, or a rock to block those scoring stones right now. And this is the first rock for Katie Feldman without the hammer here in the 7th. Looks pretty good. Needs to curl up a little bit more, I think. So I think it didn't curl up enough. So I think there is an angle of attack for Aces. I think they're looking to see whether they can attack it from the right side. Maybe you do a double. But that red up top is providing some pretty good cover. I think they could do like hacker board weight and maybe attack it that way, because that red guard and the blue rocks are not close enough to really maybe be a factor, depending on the line. Broom's down. Looks like they're trying to attack it from that outside. I think they want to hit it just on the outside as well to maybe pop the red onto the red in both. A key shot coming for Team Aces. Slight shift of the broom. Okay, so they changed their minds, saying let's go the other way. So broom is down. I think looking for board, heavy board weight. Important that it doesn't overcurl. It's pretty close. I think it's on the blue. No. Wow, she got it. Let's take another look at that. It's pretty close. I think it's on the blue. No. Wow, she got it. So that really changes the end around. It looks like Asis is sitting 2, with Feldman having a red rock, a lone red rock to the top 12 foot. I think maybe looking to tap the red back on top of the blue. The warm room goes wild. And let's take another look at that. Looking to tap the red back on top of the blue. The warm room goes wild. Back to our live action, where it looks like they're just opting to draw. So this could bring in a scenario where Feldman would have the hammer coming home, but they would be down 2, which is manageable. And as I mentioned before, if the score is tied after 8 ends, we go to overtime, an extra end. And this is Jennifer Asis' last here. And this is probably a pretty safe throw, because even if they're light and Feldman steals 1, the game would be tied with Asis having the hammer coming home. And let me show you what you're seeing. Sorry. That rock comes up light, and that is a steal of 1. So Feldman does tie it up. Asis does carry the hammer to the 8th end, and barring an incredible happenstance, the game will likely not have an extra end. And we'll be back in just a moment. We're coming down to a very exciting finish here at the 2024 MoPac Women's Arena Playdowns. Asis had that draw for 1, but again, as I mentioned, it was not a bad outcome because Asis would have the hammer tie coming home. Looking at the playing end of the sheet, looks like Putnam was able to put up a guard, center-ish, but maybe not on the line. And This rock here is going to curl past the red rock and settle in the back of the house. Is it going to sit down? No, it does not. It goes through the house out of play. So this is Putnam's second stone here. I think based on where Feldman has her broom, they wanted to come into the house and kind of be high. Well, it's coming into the house, but it's going to be deep. A full 4 foot. And this is Jacqueline Pitlars's second stone. Calling for sweep. It's going to be close. It will make contact. And the shooter is going to roll out of play as well. So just as a reminder, we have 2 more games of round robin play today as Melissa McGuire throws fairly quickly. We have our next game at 4:55 roughly. And that's the lone draw with a single game as Team Viewers will take out Team Barbary. On at about 7:55 tonight, the last game of round robin will feature Team Tucker taking on Team Asis, and then Team Feldman will face Team Malia. Speaking of Team Tucker and Malia, Teams Tucker and Malia. Malia added an additional point in the 7th end, and they are coming home with a lead. I think a 2-point lead. I'll get back into that in a second. The guard is peeled, but the guard is actually going to jam on the blue in the back. And so Feldman's going to need to steal away home. Malia has a 7-5 lead on sheet B. This is McGuire's next rock. Looking to draw in. Looks pretty good for top 12. And Julie Wolf gets set pretty quickly. Ace has indicated it's wide. Looks like it's coming back now, so sweepers jump on it. Looks like it will make contact. That red rock goes, and the shooter sticks at the top of the house. And Leanne quickly delivers her next stone. And don't know why I'm losing cameras. But I guess we'll do it old school. Just calling from the overhead for the rest of this hand. And hope the overhead lasts. So I do have battery backups for those camcorders, but they may not have been drawing power, unfortunately. So this is Melissa Wheeler's first. Looking to draw. Actually, it's a hit, but it needs to curl up a little bit. trying to push it over, but it's gone. So Feldman has an opportunity now to split the rings and increase the chances of stealing this end of the game.
But I would think tapping the top of that red to the blue and kicking blue out.
And this is Leanne's stone coming down the sheets. Needs to be in the paint, needs to stick around. It looks a little up.
None of them are good angles.
Needs to sit down. Slowing right now, and it's going to settle in the back 8, maybe biting 12. Nope, full 8 foot. So Melissa Wheeler's last rock, looking to make a play on the shot stone in the back 8. So I'm sure Feldman's maybe thinking about the strategy to steal this end. And this stone's not coming back. And that's 2 missed takeouts, unfortunately, for Asis. Sheet B, it looks like Team Tucker is not going quietly into this night, looking for their first win. They are sitting, it looks like 2 from the overhead. And I think there's 2 rocks to go on sheet B.
Yeah, I know.
As you would when you have.
So for our future sheets, Team Feldman is about to throw the first of the skip stones. And I think looking to put their red rock on top, like in a guard position. Well, Leanne's indicating the top 8 foot. I would have tried to like guard the red that's in the house in the 8 foot. And this is going to end up really close. Settles in the 4 foot, a little deeper than they would have liked.
But that one's still up in the top. You throw the double
And
ball out.
I just noticed that we lost the on ice sound because of the camcorder's going away. So I am compensating.
Where is it going?
Okay. So Asis is first is away, looking to move some granite. Going to get 1. Is it going to get 2? It moves one of the reds to the back of the 12 foot. The shooter rolls out of the storing house into the backyard. So now Feldman, I think, really needs to put a rock in the drawing path to make it hard for Asis to score that single point for the win. So looking to where to put the rock.
Our best is like 10 seconds. Yeah, it has to be top 4.
So they are calling their timeout, looking to consider their options as the front end of Putnam and McGuire move down the ice. So I guess to the benefit of Team Feldman is that they just threw this draw. So if they throw this draw again very similarly, then they'd be very close. I guess also the issue is that they don't want to be in a position where Asis can just pop out the Feldman rock and store that way. So you almost need to be like on the 12 foot to have the maximum advantage. But then I'm kind of curious about where the miss is. Let's see if we can listen in.
Yes.
So pretty interesting. Heard a little bit. Also some loud noises in the ice out. So Feldman's rocked us away, looking for a rock. Oh, it picked. Oh no. What a disastrous way to end this game. Now rock picked. So now all Asis has to do is touch the 8 foot for the win and to remain undefeated to really punch their ticket to the playoffs on Sunday. So Asis calls the timeout. Let's see. So we got the high fives from Asis on audio. Didn't quite catch the rest of that. And then on sheet B, looks like there's 2 stones to go. And at least in regulation.
All right, we shall see you down there in a little bit. You'll be able to break away. Did you want to watch the last shot? Okay.
So Asis needing to bite the 8 foot, opting for the draw, but with some backing off of one of the Feldman reds in the back. And this is the final shot here of the game. Weight looks pretty good. Sweepers are sweeping it. Just need to make sure just to be the full 8 foot, then it's there. And it's they got it. So handshakes as they wrap up this game. Asis breaks the tie and secures the win. 5-4 over Team Feldman. Barring in weird circumstance, we're going to see Asis again in the championship Sunday. Odds are high that we'll also see Feldman in the championship Sunday. But we'll have to see what the last games indicate. You have to tune in and find out. So we're going to wrap things up from here. I might call the last shot for the Tucker Amalia game. Because they're so close to being, well, they might do it on extra ends. Yeah, we have had one extra end game, and it looks like we might have another one. It was Mal. Mal, you just likes the extra end games.
Right till the entrance to their beach parking is literally the next one on the left, right just before the corner, just before the corner.
So,
Makes sense.
I already got it.
Was it? Because on here it looked like.
So, they're coming down to talk about it on sheet B. Let me see if I can angle over there real quick.
Pines entrance is here.
Excuse me.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine.
So, you can see the situation over there. It's all good. It's all good. So, looking at the situation here, it's a tie game. That's not a tie game. I don't know why I said that. Looks like we have Team Malia with a 2-point lead over Team Tucker, but Tucker is threatening here.
I tried to push that one.
I'm trying to update the scoreboard. And let's see here. Looking over their shots, it's a tricky situation here for Malia. This is their last shot versus Team Tucker. Tucker looking for their first win of the event. Doing really, really well. Just, hoping to close it out. And so that's the situation right now. They talked it over. And Malia gets set in the hack. Releases away, looking for some up weight, looking to move some granite. Looks way wide. So, I don't think it's going to touch anything. Tucker is last. So Tucker was looking to see what they could do.
For the tie to see if we go to an extra end.
You've had the best outfit.
Yeah.
So now they're calling for measurements. I guess we'll stick with this game. Well, the measurement is about to get underway. So, clearing the rocks, coming down to those two in the upper 8 foot. As ice official Cameron Spangler makes his way down the ice. He's going to cool the device. and the measuring device is on the ice. He just said this is the most exciting measuring device in all of sports. One room thinks it might be red. I tended to agree from the overhead. So he's really making sure it's secure. And it looks like it is, oh goodness, it's blue. Wow. So by the skin of their chinny chin chin, Team Malia secures a 7-6 win over, I'm good.
Oh, you got a photo of all of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can, you want to follow up? Huh? You want a photo of you? Oh, yeah. Oh,
All right, so a very exciting finish to both games in this draw. We definitely hope that you'll join us for the next game to start at about 4:55, I believe. 4:25, and then our nightcap is 7:55. So we hope you'll join us then. Until then, this is your host Ryan Olson for all of us here at MoPac, Lake Tahoe, Epic Curling, and DoubleTakeout.com. Good day and good curling.